Hello and welcome, my name is Reaper, and now, after waiting a very long time, Stalker 2 revives alive with a Monster huge 110 gigs up Christmas patch that marks the game's first major update. I already posted this one on my Instagram story, so links to my social medias down below, go check them out. And I have already read this whole patch log, but I must say, in my whole life I haven't seen any game get this fast, this big update. Not even the Fallout 4's next gen update was not that big. This is literally the biggest update, and yeah. And shall go it through. And thank you by Joshua Wallens, who publishes this one on PC Gamer. Links to this article down below in the description. Okay. Yes, Virginia. There's a Santa Claus, and the Christmas gift he's delivering is the first major patch for Stalker 2. Patch 1.1 is out now, and its Vulcan anomalous sack is full over 1,800 fixes for AI, game balance, crashes, and most importantly, the first pokes at the game's busted AI life simulation system. The bad news is that the inimitable GSC Game World fashioned the full patch comes out at 110 gigs. So you might actually be waiting until Christmas Day for the whole thing to squeeze itself down to your net pipes. It looks like it'll be worth it though. If you're not up to date, Stalker 2's A-Life system has been iffy ever since the game out a month ago. In previous Stalker games, A-Life was the thing responsible for making the zone feel actually alive, full of weird ongoings and little dramas that the game system spawn in and play out completely separate from you as a player. So basically, I'm gonna put this very simply. You are in the zone, then you're gonna get randomly a call, hey, we're gonna need your help, come here. And if you go there, things gonna go a little bit differently. You can maybe get enemies places where those enemies was not before, etc, etc. And that make Stalker so good, the first 3 games, because wherever you go you can get that random call or message, etc. And yeah. Shall we continue? GCS didn't quite get the whole thing working in UF5 for Stalker 2 release, though leading to the players wondering if it had been yanked entirely. Luckily it was just delayed. Per Stalker 2's 1.1 patch notes, GSC has fixed the aggressive optimization issue that prevented A-Life NPCs to exist in offline out of the player visualization range. Plus, in offline mode, A-Life will continue to advance towards their goals over time, and players may now have opportunities to encounter A-Life NPCs they previously met by following in the same direction as the NPCs. The inner life of NPCs is back, baby, we are stalking again. On top of that, NPCs should now be more keen to expand territory and actually attack enemies and mutants, and you should encounter more and more varied people as you travel around the zone. That last one is most noticeable for me, to be honest. The zone still felt pretty alive when I played Stalker 2 before this patch, but I didn't notice that I hardly ever ran across factions like Duty and Freedom in my adventures. And on my 28 episodes of Stalker 2 now, let us say, almost little over 40 hours now, probably encounter. And we have actually met more than little 2-3 times people what I think that are from Freedom and Duty. in like 40 hours, and thinking how many times we met those in the first 3 games. Anyway, there's plenty of non-A-life fixes too, and saying that there is a lot of them, I'm not even kidding. We have read like this much, and this is gonna continue like the here. So this is gonna take some time, baby. And let's just say, I'm not gonna keep my headphones on because it's gonna hurt my head. Most notable to me are the tweaks to balance. It looks like GTS is making Stalker 2 a little more forgiving, thank you, by amping up quest rewards and making certain artifacts more valuable. Don't say the devs never gave you nothing. They gave us a perfect game. And we're gonna go these one by one and talk about them. So this video can be probably half an hour long. Thinking that the last update video what I made from Stalker 2 was literally like 15 minutes. And yeah. Stalker patch 1.1 notes, A-life fixes, and there is more categories after this one. A-life fixes the issue with spawning NPCs behind the player's back. Player can now encounter roaming NPCs across the zone more often, thank you, because that means that we can trade a little bit more, which is great. Greatly extended the distance at which A-life NPCs are visible to players. Fixed the aggressive monetization issue that prevented A-life NPCs to exist in offline out of place of visualization range. In offline mode, A-life will continue to advance toward their goals over time. Player may now have opportunities to encounter A-life NPCs they previously met by following in the same direction as the NPCs. Improve A-life NPCs navigation in offline using GameCraft global AI navigation map fixes multiple issues where NPCs would fail to follow or find paths to their designated goals. Fixes several issues with NPCs being stuck in offline transition state. Enchanted A-life NPCs motivation to expand territory actually attacks enemies and mutants. Fixed the issue that could result in fewer A-life NPCs encountered than intended. Further contextual actions improvements to ensure seamless transitions between offline and online states for NPCs engaged in these actions. The groups exploring the zone are now more diverse regarding possible factions and group sizes. Fixes issue that while roaming over the zone, human NPCs didn't satisfy their communication needs and talks. Some other development-related improvements. And that was the A-life fixes. Next one is the AI improvements. And the first one reduces the number of summons and increases time between spawns of Pseudodox phantoms. We encountered this one actually in few episodes ago when there was like probably over 20 Pseudodox ghosts literally trying to kill me. And it took a little bit time of getting the host done. So that is very good fix. Fixed an issue when zombies would have their legs and arms twisted like knocked down. Fixed an issue when large mutants would hide behind small covers such as trees. We have seen that one as well. Fixed an issue when mutants' limbs stretch sometimes when firing automatic weapons. Fixed an issue when bloody visual effects played a few times after Rat's death from grenade. Fixed an issue when NPCs quickly detected the player when he was crouching. Fixed an issue where NPCs would enter doors without opening them. That would be actually a pretty scary looking thing. Fixed the issue when the controller would take the main story NPCs under control. Well, that would be pretty bad. Fixed the issue when Chimera would try to enter narrow passages that it couldn't enter instead of hiding in ambush. Fixed an issue when NPC was teleporting to the restricted areas such as the safe zones and pubs. Fixed an issue where mutants that were in cover did not charge their cover when receiving damage. Fixed visual effects of blurs their ability. Minor combat behavior fixes for NPC shooting from covers. Yeah, we have seen that they literally try to shoot like this but not even looking the direction where they are shooting. Fixing some issues, NPCs staying idle and refusing to start mission-related dialogue. Seen that one more than once. And also, there is one thing on that one. Related to noontime base. I checked from the internet, and this is related to the question on my last episode where I talk about the detectors on game. That's where we can find better detectors. Apparently in Moontide Base there is one character what you need to talk to get a side quest which reward will be that detector. But we're gonna come back later on that one. Fixed an issue when mutants kept attacking zombies in knockdown. Fixed an issue when NPCs are stuck in aiming animation. Fixed an issue when death animation was replayed for an NPC who was resurrected as a zombie. Fixed an issue when a neutral NPC stays neutral after a player hits them by melee attack. Fixed an issue when some NPCs broken out by shooting. Generate improvements of combat experience and NPC pathfinding in big fights with a lot of corpses. Fixed an issue when a player was able to kill the Chimera with the help of carousel anomaly. Fixed an issue where NPCs would clip through objects and walls when shooting from covers. Happened more than once. Minor improvements for peaceful behaviors of NPCs. Fixed an issue where NPCs wouldn't stop combat on enemy start. Yeah, we have seen that one as well. Fixed an issue where when some mutants couldn't jump off an obstacle. That one we haven't heard or seen. Fixed an issue when NPCs were stuck after the end of a mission. Yep, seen that one as well. Fixed bandits behavior after a mission and doing the mission bullseye. Fixed an issue where NPCs wouldn't teleport if the NPC wouldn't build a route. Fixed an issue where NPCs won't stop talking to each other after loading a save. Fixed an issue where mutant dead bodies fly long distance from the places where they were killed by the shotgun. Seen twice. Over 50 more minor anomalies were fixed. Seriously? This one is so freaking long patch list. Literally, even if we combine all the earlier ones together, it's like half of this page. Next, balance adjustments. Increase rewards of several missions. Thank you. Fixed an issue when artifacts with physical protection effects give maximum possible effects. But this is a good thing. With the artifact with physical protection effect would give maximum possible effect, that would be great. Except if it's the minus effect, like radiation. That would be pretty bad actually. Change Goldfish artifact value to 14,000 coupons. I'm not sure how much it's at now. Like, I don't remember the correct number right now what it was before. Fix an issue when player is able to have infinite coupons via selling and returning back any stackable consumable. Oh come on! We need money anyway! Fix the infinite money exploit with splitting a stack of weapons from selling windows. Fix the issue when alive NPCs can be spawned dead with full clips of ammo. Well, I'm not sure if we have seen this one. We have offered so many NPCs that I'm not sure even anymore. Increase Snork ability to cooldown time by 30%. Thank you. Chaos rifle damage was increased. Increased difficulty for the fight with Korshnov. Recalculated rewards for the Harpies missions. Fixed instant player death after getting almost full radiation bar. Fixed that Poltergeist and Burner do not deal damage with thrown objects in some cases. Removed the boss 8x scope from the assortments of several merchants. Oh come on, why you remove that? We get damage from psi fields. over 10 more minor fixes. Next, crash fixes, performance and optimization. And most of these are things that are for the Bluetooth, but we're gonna go this through anyway. Investigated and applied further improvements to the dead zones and curves for gamepad movement, aiming and camera controls for the more smooth and controllable experience using sticks on controller. Performance improvements in largely populated areas of the map. We haven't had that problem. Fixed performance drops on NVIDIA RTX 3000 series video cards with enable FSR frame generation. Fixed issue with game freezing on exiting a tunnel during a light in the end of the tunnel mission. Fixed issue with not working Razer Kishi Ultra controller which connected via Bluetooth or cable connection. And basically same thing with MSI Force Pro wireless controller didn't work via Bluetooth or dongle connection. And Xbox X/S controller didn't work with Bluetooth connection. That one is fixed. Controller input improvements. Probably the downtime of controller is improved now. Fixed issue with visual artifacts in in-game UI with DLSS enabled. Fixed issue when building disappears in player camera at factory location. Fixed issue with building near Yantar popping into player's view while approaching it. Fixed FPS drop that could be created by large amounts of water particles. That is pretty weird because we haven't had that one. Even though we have little max settings on every setting page. The epic settings. Fixed FPS drops during the interaction with corpses in shallow water. Fixed multiple exception access violation crashes. Fixed multiple fatal errors, low-level fatal errors and assertion failures. Overall, over 200 crashes were investigated and further fixes were implemented. Just wow. And thinking that this game has been like now out like a month, and this is how big update this is already. This is like 75% of the size of the main game, and that is just wow. Cutscenes. Multiple improvements to facial animation and voiceover for the boss languages in several cutscenes. Fixes an issue with missing frames in several cutscenes. Fixes an issue with missing NPC several cutscenes. Fixes issue when main character and NPC can have idle behavior or detached parts of the body equipment in several cutscenes. We have seen this thing more than once, that we have only seen the head of the character but not the body. Fixes an issue with missing subtitles in several cutscenes. Fixes an issue with missing haptic feedback in several cutscenes. Fixes the issue with final cutscene not playing in the Eternal Shining mission. Fixes the issue where the cutscene at the end of the back to the Slack heap mission didn't not start. Fixes the issue with invisible nimble during the cutscene in search of the guide mission. Fixes an issue where player couldn't die during the cutscene during the last step mission. Overall, over 80 other cutscenes issues were addressed. Interactable objects. Fixed an issue when the elevator in X11 laboratory was closed after loading save during the wishful thinking mission. Fixed physics for ammo boxes and broken lamps. Fixes some issues when NPC could get stuck in a doorway at different locations. Fixed issue where the ladder descent sounds would loop and player would clip through the ladder after climbing from it. Fixed sound on interacting with the dead body. Fixed issue when NPCs touching the door during movement or come across the door shaking. This would be probably, from so far, all the fixes be the less annoying or critical, and this one as well. Fixed that interception hints for loot and pick up bodies appear at different distance from the body. Fixed an interaction prompt for healing being active when the player did not have medkit. Fixed an issue when some constables could have been non-interactable, and up to 20 other related issues were fixed. Sadly, in this so far, there hasn't been that one artifact that anomaly what we tried to find on the last episode. I tried after that episode like 2 hours to find it. No luck. It's just keep beeping, but no artifact. Let's continue. And if you are not want any spoilers, skip this part of mainline mission and story progression. Fixes over 15 bugs related to the On the Edge mission, including issues when Hamster and Ricochet dying after entering the Silent clubhouse, bugs that prevented the Slavko pharmacist from healing, allowed Monolithians and mutants to get inside the Hamster's shelter, and others. Fixed multiple issues with a minor incident mission, including an issue where Joanna State asked Richard about the scientist was cancelled instead of completion after dialogue with Richard if player already had the mutant's color, and bugged with misleading marker in acquire the color from the mutant objective. The fun fact, I think we have that color, but we don't have any related mission on that one. Weird. Fixed multiple issues with the Visions of Truth mission where Scar might not spawn if loading a previous old save anomaly where Scout could become hostile to the skiff, bug where the player couldn't start the dialogue with the representative and other things. Fixes an issue where player was unable to start dialogue with Richter after beating the Monolith Squad during the Last Wish mission. Fixes an issue where player could get softlock by wounding Richter and making him hostile during the Last Wish mission. Sorry about that, I need to answer this message right now. Fix an issue where when player could get softlock by wounding Richter and making him hostile during the Last Wish mission. I probably read that right, sorry about that. Fix an issue where Faust Cologne was leaving his place at the balcony while the player fought the Monolithians during the assault on the Duga mission. Fix an issue where Faust being stuck during the boss fight in the assault on the Duga mission. Fix an issue where the player was unable to help the soldier surrounded by Monolithians during the sus like the good old days mission. Fix an issue with Dolochka being dead at Quiet's camp doing sus like the good old days mission. There's so many mission related fixes now. Fix an issue where player was unable to progress through the subtle matter mission if he looted mission items before the mission started. And how you know that those are mission related, you don't think, hey, that is a nice looking item, maybe I gonna sell that one. How many corrupted saves there has been after that. Fix an issue where with absent regenerator doing an act of mercy mission. Fix an issue with elevator in X11 labs would remain closed during the mission wishful thinking. Fix an issue when player could get stuck in ventilation under ARL building doing wishful thinking mission if headed there before stalking the Gruvenko. Fix an issue with Nightingale not giving the mission dialogue after killing blind dogs in the dogfight mission. Fix the blocker where it was impossible to start the dialogue with Strider after turning off the scanner doing the hot on the trail mission. So I need to take a drink now. Fixes an issue, a sign of hope side mission being not available after completing the hot on the trail mission. Fixes an issue when Professor Lojochka was missing from his mission location during the or after a mission if a sign of hope mission was completed. Fixes an issue with endless ward guard spawn in chemical plant during the escape from the Gage mission. Fixes an issue where player was not able to complete explore Echo Station journal stage for death frequency mission if Sterev was found before getting intel from the Team Bravo. Fixes the stealth part of the Roosevelt during the King of the Hill mission. Fixes the issue where after the boss fight with Faust, Controls and horizontal camera movements are disabled after loading save. Fixed issue with unskippable black screen after ended cutscene in There and Back Again mission. Fixed issue with absence of intro cutscenes in There and Back Again mission. Fixed the blocking issue where objective talk to Warlock about hamster could not be completed if the player killed the hamster before speaking to Gaffer during the On the Fire mission. Fixed issue with the Bandit Mayhem mission after player returns cargo to Huron. Fixed the issue when the body of Bayun in color disappears when he is killed during the summoning action. Fixed the issue where the Somber and Bluish would become hostile after attacking the Hawks squad during the shift change mission. Fixed an issue where users were able to access unintended areas at the Red Fortress location. Added armors with CSI defense for the Get Psy armor objective doing at S.T.A.L.K.E.R mission. Fixed issue with zombies standing idle at the pumping station in Swamps region during the S.T.A.L.K.E.R mission. Fixed issue when monolithians were presented in infirmary during the Happiness for Everyone mission. Fixed soft loss issues where answer come at the Prince mission doesn't progress after bandits at depot were killed after a mission. Fixed the bug with Scar's PDA missing after boss fight. Fixed the issue where the Dark Times mission could not be completed after talking to Archbishop Lishan during the mission. Fixed an issue where Monolith NPC could spot in the closet garage during the Boundary mission. Fixed the issue that could cause Koshinov to disappear during the boss fight. Fixed an issue where Scott would not die after destroying the last monitor during the boss fight. Fixed an issue where Koshinov could be missing a marker location if a mission starts while playing approaches answer comes at Prince mission location. And over 250 bugs and blockers were fixed in the main mission section. Lita, my jaw is so freaking in pain right now after reading this much. Side mission and open world encounters. Fixed an issue when player could kill spectators during arena fights on Rostock. Fixed an issue when enemies could leave the arena during the mission Meet the Freedom Colosseum mission. Improved balance for arena fights in Rostock. Fixed an issue when the guide in Energetic, no idea how to pronounce that by the way, sorry about that. Balance of Culture Hub could be used after point of no return during down below mission. Fixed issue when Warlock's missions were incompatible after the signal. Adjusted when Pseudo Dogian appears after Magic Firecracker starts playing the melody. Fixed situation when A-Life NPC kills Serioga, Root, Senior Nose and Heroic Jacket. Fixed NPC blocking the passage in some areas of 100 Rats Bar. Fixed Ward Technical Reputation, well thank you about that. Fixed an issue when encounter with Monolithians at Acroprom Underground didn't start after completing the Search of the Past Glory by Spark. Fixes an issue when the Mythruk Genius gun remains as a mission item after killing the NPC that gives the mission to find it. Fix an issue when NPCs from the Rookie Village are missing after to the Legend of the Soul mission. Fixes an issue when users can remain locked inside the logical lab when they shoot the Noontier Tider NPC before the doors closes. Disappear spawn of Monolithians before activation of Wishgranter at S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Fixes issue when encounter with beginning Stalker will start after Monolith comeback. Fixes some issues in dialogue with NPCs at Chemical Plant. Fixes issue where Kyria NPCs will teleport away from player after getting revived from him at 100 Rats Bar. Fixes an issue that could cause the game freeze during the dialogue of the mission a matter of honor. Fixes an issue where player was not able to find encounter with Professor Zaretsky after the end of the All That Is Left mission. Fixes an issue where NPC crest could be missing at the Sound of the Music mission location after talking to them during the mission. Fixes an issue where the player was not able to progress the mission from the Warlock after end of the On the Edge mission. Over 100 more bugs fixed. Open world directional exploration and zone experience. After the video after this one, if my voice is a little numb, I'm sorry about that, but this rating is so hard. Fix it that the lightning ball sometimes gets stuck during movement in Opachuchi village. Fix it that sometimes artifacts did not appear in arch anomalies. Improved dead bodies physics. Fix it when player equipment was damaged while player was crouching in Razor. Fix it corpse disappearing issue. Fix it stretched texture on some trees in open world. Fix it an issue with toxic cloud anomaly idle VFX. Fix it an issue rat swarms spawning above the cave in mist arch anomaly. Fix it an issue when characters become wet in dry spaces after loading the last save. Fix it an issue time with sharp weather changes in present at 4:30 morning time and 11:59 in night time. Fix it and wandering light anomaly doesn't always spawn its artifact. Fix it an issue with bulb arch anomaly sometimes not appearing. Hopefully this is the anomaly artifact thing what I talked earlier on this video. Fixes an issue with non-lootable corpses spawning at the border between Gordon and Lesser Zone regions. Fixes that player was unable to reach the artifact near abandoned hamlets on swamps. Increased distance for compact parts. Fixes an issue where NPC could get stuck in the doorway during the mission Establish Your Hub. Fixes an issue when NPC could get spawn and get stuck isolated surface, cars, boxes, etc. Improved bullet penetration visual effects, improved cloth simulation for corpses or NPCs, fixes issues with blood decals, fixes the issue where far distant areas of the environment appear too bright at night, fixes an issue where zombies waking up animation was retarded every time player looked away, fixes an issue where sometimes an emission started doing a cutscene would not end, fixes an issue where diggers around the S.T.A.L.K.E.R did not stop being aggressive with the player after the end of the combat, and some other improvements. This video is over half an hour long, I'm sorry, but this is so long list. Player gear and player stays adjustments. Fixes issue that helmets don't have psi and rat protection. Thank you. Fixes issue with armors SSP-100 Discovery and SSP-99 Ecologists have no psi protection. Fixes issue where player can not install lead container upgrade on PSG-5V Guardian of Freedom Suite. Smoke was made less intense at shot from the weapon with silencer. Thank you. Fixes broken arm during magazine adjustments to machine gun. Fixes bullet visibility in magazine during reload, accept splashing sound with bolts hitting the water surface. Fixes an issue where empty shells were ejected instead of bullets when unloaded after ammo type was changed. Improved interruptions of animation sequence with weapon reload and consumable item usage. Fixes issue with bolt impact sound missing during the long distance throws. Minor fixes for rifle cross appearance, thank you. Fixes issue with item not being consumed when they're used via quick slot hotkeys, thank you, we have that issues multiple times. Fixes issue where main weapon upgrades were applied to installed under barrel modules. Minor fixes for animation of jammed weapons. Fixes an issue when the player was able to equip the detector with the primary weapon simultaneously. But that would be actually a great thing. The cause of death is now correctly displayed on the death screen. Fixes issue when the player would clip into the wall or other object while performing melee style kill to close to it. Fixes issue with VFX particles for Psy Phantom missing when shooting close to their models. Fixes an issue that causes losing controls after playing guitar. Fixes an issue where player could get unlimited carrying capacity upgrading equipment armor. Fixes an issue where player could get unlimited stamina after starting dialogue with crouched, and over 50 other issues were addressed. Player guidance, game settings and menus. Updated in-game tutorials to improve first-time user experience. Good thing. Fixes an issue where the player would approach a mission location and new weapons would randomly spawn and equipped in hand. Sadly we didn't get this one. That would be so fun to happen randomly. Fixes an issue where the player was unable to swap combat weapons positions while trading. Enable upgrades for X7 suite. Thank you. Added possibility to revert the adjustments of pre-installed module in upgrade menu. Thank you. Added unique markers for mutants with S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Reworked UI of system notification for received items. Updated description of multiple armor upgrades. Fixes issue where mission markers on NPC disappear forever after NPC become hostile towards player. And this one is the one what I'm pretty freaking sad. Remove ability to trade with NPCs at noontide base. Thank you. That was the last thing what I personally wanted, because the little trading option there with little 2 persons now. Yeah, sadly. Reworked a few UI elements in the upgrade menu of the PDA. Reworked design for the few icons in the PDA menu. Fixes an issue where the upgrade tree UI changes its direction inconstantly after switching between different weapons. Fixed mission animation for ammo type change from gamepad. Fixed threat indication appearance after closing the main menu. Fixed mission mouse scroll sound in PDA. Fixed that output device option resets after restarting the client, aka the game. Fixed issue when after loading the specific save file, a black screen appears. Removed redundant pop-up window on resetting settings to default. Upscaling quality settings in options were translated. Stashes marker color changed to violet. Thank you, this gonna be so helpful. Well, there is literally 3 marker types. Stashes, places what you have already unlocked, and places what you haven't been visited yet, and all of them has been white. And if there's 3 of them close enough to each other, you can see if there is a stat mark or not. Now you can, thank you. Fixed technician not being able to install certain armor upgrades, thank you. Fixed that SSP 100 Discovery armor cannot be upgraded by any technicians, thank you. We need to check if we have that armor. Fixed an issue where consumables could not be applied via quick slots, thank you. We have that one as well. Fixed an issue where crosshair doesn't appear after reload if air button was pressed again. Fixed a scrolling issue inside the node in PDA. Fixed an issue where the user would move slowly and was unable to sprint after loading a save file that was created when the user was leaning. Fixed an issue with ADR white point option, and almost 100 other anomalies were fixed in this section. Argument. Fixes an issue when the 4 Beans arguments cannot be received. Fixes an issue when being arguments cannot be received. Fixes an issue when players were unable to unlock arguments in the EGS store. Saves. Fixes an issue when the player was unable to load existing save files after the title and Steam process was terminated unexpectedly. Fixes an issue with missing save file after PC/export hard reboot. Other improvement. Over 15 localization and voiceover updates, thank you. Over 40 audio adjustments and volume tweaks of various types. Over 20 improvements in some character and NPC visual appearance. And over 500 fixes for foliage, texture flickering, bugs in navigation mesh, collision, error in object positioning and contextual action, VFX related fixes, non-destructible objects, and more. Wow. I must say, this list is so freaking big. And the only thing what I can now say is, if any of S.T.A.L.K.E.R developer team is watching this, as a long-time gamer and content creator and huge fan of S.T.A.L.K.E.R franchise. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. Litai, a month ago you released the game. And it has already get a great patches. And now you drop this one. I don't think that we're gonna need another this size patch for a while now, thinking how much things you have fixed in this game now. And only thing what I can say is thank you. And now I'm trying to get my throat fixed so I can try to record the next episode of Stalker 2. Thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed this video, even though this is little over 40 minutes long. And as always, check my social media links, including this link to this article down below in the description. And as always, check my social medias and other links. And hit subscribe, hit the notification bell on, leave a like, leave a comment down below what you think about this episode. And check this other playlist coming to the screen right now.